Okay, our next example actually gives us an equation. The direction says graph the equation, and our equation is negative x equals 6 plus 2y. Now I'm actually going to talk about two ways actually to graph this line. We're going to put it in slope-intercept form and identify our slope and our y-intercept and graph like we did our last example. And then I actually want to just go and solve for the x and y-intercepts and plot our graph that way. So if I solve this in y equals mx plus b form, we've talked already that this is the same as 6 plus 2y equals negative x. I subtract 6 from both sides. Again, both sides mean on either side of the equal sign. The 6's will cancel where I bring down a positive 2y minus negative x minus 6. And my last move is to divide by 2 for every term. And now I have y is equal. Now here's another situation where you want to write your fraction separate from your variable. It'll allow you to identify your slope very easy. So even though we don't see a number in front of x, the coefficient is what it's called. If you don't see a number in front of x, it's always understood to be a 1 in front of x. X is not understood to be 1. There's a number, the coefficient in front of x is understood to be 1. So I can write this as negative 1 over 2x minus 3, because a negative divided by positive is negative and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we clearly see for this example that my slope is actually, I've lost my eraser here, so I got it. My slope here is negative 1/2, and my y-intercept is negative 3. So let's write down those two facts and erase this so that we can graph. Slope is m, that is negative 1 over 2, and my y-intercept is negative 3. So again, you should remember that whenever you have the slope and the y-intercept, I'm going to have to put this equation up again because I want to show you how to solve this using x and y-intercepts. Whenever you have a slope and y-intercept, you want to actually plot your y-intercept first, which is negative 3 on the y-axis. I put my point there on the y-axis. And now, since my numerator is negative, I'm going to go down 1 unit from my y-intercept, and then I'm going to go to the right twice. So if I go down once, I don't put a point here until I move over twice. So let's see. We want to go down 1 to the right twice, and I'm finished. So my line is not so straight there. Forgive me. I'm not, a good drawer here. But again, if we analyze our line, this time our line is going down from left to right, which it should be because my slope is a negative number, okay? Okay, now the equation, again, let's go back to the equation. It said that negative x equals 6 plus 2y. Negative x equals 6 plus 2y. Just like a y-intercept is a place where the graph crosses the y-axis, you may also have an x-intercept, the place where the graph will cross the x-axis. So when we solve for our y-intercept, we said that the ordered pairs for the y-intercept will always have x as 0, and we go and search for a y. Well, likewise, our x-intercept, okay, we will go and search for the x, and our y-coordinate is always 0. So let's do that really quickly. So if we take and solve for our y-intercept, x will be 0. So wherever I see an x, I plug in 0. Well, this says negative x. 0 is a non-negative integer, so it is neither negative or positive. So we just put 0. We don't want to put negative 0. So 0 equals 6 plus 2y. I subtract both sides by 6. 0 minus 6 is negative 6. And I bring down my 2y. This tells me that y is equal to negative 3 after I divide by 2. Now, let me actually write this step out here because sometimes we get a little bit confused. If I divide by 2 here, now negative 6 over 2 is not the same as as 2 over negative 6. One of these fractions is negative 1/3. The other fraction is negative 3. This one is negative 3. 2 goes into 6 3 times. So this guy is negative 3. And if I reduce this fraction, 2 goes into 2, 1. 2 goes into negative 6, negative 3 times. So make sure you're paying attention to that and we don't mess up easily here. Okay, so my y-intercept is negative 3 as we have already established when we put it in our slope-intercept form. Okay, now let's take 1 minute here and solve for our x-intercept, and then we'll plot both of those points and I'll show you that as well. So to solve for my x-intercept, y is 0. So this says that negative x equals 6 plus 2 times 0. So negative x is equal to 6 because 2 times 0 is 0. Now in order for me to solve this equation, there's a 1 here. I will divide both sides by negative 1. They cancel and x is equal to negative 6. So my x-intercept this time is negative 6. So those are the only 2 points that I need to plot here. Okay, if I draw xy coordinate plane again, I will go down to negative 3 on my y-axis and place my y-intercept, and go to the left to negative 6, and you'll see that the line resembles the same line that we graphed as we did with our slope-intercept form.